Hello and welcome to our Scrapbook Live for March of 2024. So I'm really excited to be here scrapbooking with you today, and hopefully we can have a little bit of fun. We're going to look at some fun products and we can have some show and tell later where I get to see what you've been up to, and it should be good. So my name is Alice Bull. I run the membership group at scraphappy.org. We are the host of the Load Challenge Layout a Day, which we do in February, May, and October. And we've just released our topic for our May load. It's not even up for sale yet, so I'm just telling you about it. We talked about it at our happy hour this week, and I haven't even put the replay up yet. It's coming today. I'll get it up. So if you weren't at the live thing, you don't know. So I'll tell everybody right now because I was so excited. Oh, where is the little picture thing? Okay. Oh, this is the one. Okay. Um, this, Road 10. Oh, why isn't it showing there? Okay. I gotta grab the image again. I thought it would stay in here, but it didn't. Okay, somebody else has their mic on if you want to mute that for now. That'd be great. Okay, so this is our theme for our load coming up in May. So just a sneak peek. It's not up for sale yet. It's not nothing, and Scrap Happy will just be getting excited. Here we go. We got our load 524 is going to be shaken and not stirred, inspired by James Bond. And to tell you that I'm excited about this theme, yeah. There is so much to talk about with James Bond, and it is going to be so fun. So that's just some of the stuff that I'm really excited about. I had to share it. Let me turn this off. There we go. Okay. We're back. So Beth says, I love that May theme. I know, I'm so excited. This should be a good load. I think like every single load that we do when we're doing it is my favorite load that we've ever done. But I think this one will be up there in long-lasting memories. Heather says, my hubby will love it. So curious, any other James Bond fans in the house? Like, yeah, a couple people, or you watch them, it's maybe not your thing. Trust me, when we use that for scrapbooking inspiration, it will be great. What is Load, says Nashua? Load is our Layout a Day challenge. It is something that is included for Scrap Happy members in the membership group. And then we also open it up for other people to come and join us. And so it is super. Oh, I've got someone else with their mic on. Hold on a second. Let's go and I'll put someone on mute there. Um, but yeah, we do a scrapbooking challenge where we actually scrapbook every single day for a month. So we have a theme, like in May will be James Bond. And so I will talk about a little piece about James Bond each day. And then we will use that to inspire a story and a technique for your pages to inspire you to scrapbook something. And you can choose to do the prompts. They can ignore the prompts and skip them completely. You can just do the story. You could just do the technique. It's super fun. We have a great time with that. So that will come up in May. You have to be signed up before May, either in the membership or as just signed up for the load challenge. So that's just, it's not yet. It's not open yet, but it's a lot of fun. And by the end of the month, you have like a stack of layouts or digital pages that you've created, and we all get to share each other's pages and see what we're all creating. It's a lot of fun. So it's one of my very, very favorite things, and yeah, should be great. Okay, so for this session that we're doing today, our Scrapbook Live, I have a kit in front of me from the ScrapRoom, and I order their kits every month. Well, actually, I got put onto a replay, like just send them out, keep sending them out. So I am on a subscription, but you're not required to do a subscription for their kits. And I'm going to show you what's in my kit. I also get some add-on embellishments. So those are a little extra add-on that I get. And I'll show you what's in here. I'm going to create and play with the stuff today. I buy my own kit, but we will be giving away a free kit a little bit later on, probably near the top of the hour-ish. So around there, we will give away a free kit for somebody. So should be really good. Okay. Can I put stuff here without creating an avalanche? Maybe. Maybe. So here's the first kit. Let's bring this up right here. Okay, and you'll still see me up in the corner, so I'm still here with you, not just my hands. Okay, so this is the first of the four flavors. So there's four little mini kits in here, and the first one is this one here. Cartabella, Here Comes Spring. And so there are a few embellishments. We'll look at that in a second. But first up, you can see this pattern paper. It's so pretty. Yeah, I know. Bonnie's like, beautiful. Yeah, it is so pretty. Look at the little flowers on that. And it's like a bright, but not like way bright kind of color palette, right? Like it has color, but it's not in your face kind of color. Very nice. And then we have green. It almost looks a little bit like barbed wire, kind of chicken wire, but it's actually not. It's made up of these little tiny hexagons all kind of interwoven together to make that shape. Yeah, so I thought that was really neat. Samara likes the flowers too. Yeah, those are pretty. And then on the next sheet here, because there's three sheets of patterns and then two sheets of cardstock. This one has this gingham. This is gingham, right? Tell me that's gingham. It might be one of the newest prompts on the Calvin Ball list if you're playing Calvin Ball too. How did that get there? Alice didn't peek at kits, did she? She would never do that. I would totally do that. And then we have here some watering cans with flowers in it. Very nice. And then there's this nice little polka dot paper. Sharon's laughing. She says, I love that. I don't know if you love the paper or my sneakiness. But either way, we'll take it. Oh, and this kind of looks like wallpaper. Doesn't that look like wallpaper to you? Oh my gosh, that looks like wallpaper with like the stripes and then the little florals. Yeah, that's cute. That's funny. And then I've got two sheets of white basil. It is the avalanche paper, very springy, right? Isn't that part of Calvin Ball, being able to manipulate the rules? I know. That is part of it. A little bit of cheekiness, a little bit of fun, right? That's the Calvin Ball way. Okay, so let's have a look at the little pieces that are in here included with the kit. And there are little die cuts. Oh, and some little enamel pieces. They're like in a little soft blush color. And so it's like a little partial pack and then a partial pack of the die cuts. Oh, there's a bee in here. Hey, pretty sure bees are still on the list for Calvin Ball right now. Oh my gosh, I should bring up the list. I had printed it the other day, but by now it's got 20 million different things on it, so I don't know what it would have even now. So I've got a few different things. Oh, this little word piece has some little birdhouses on it. And there's the little banners, there's some word labels. Oh, there's rubber boots on here. Keep growing. Really cute. Here, I'll just bring them up so you can have a little peek. So if you have this kit, you would have received 1/3 of the ephemera pack and some enamel shapes or enamel like dots or whatever. So 1/3 of the packet. So if this is 1/3 of a die cut pack, then a die cut pack would have way more than I would ever need to use to scrapbook with. So I like it. Okay, let's pop these back in here for now. And the little enamel dots too. Yeah, so I quite like this paper pack. It is nice. It has that really bright, like fresh, springy, new vibe, right? And it was called Here Comes Spring, so I guess that's appropriate. And oh, to go with this, so I also get the add-on embellishment pack. And so let's see what is the add-on for this kit. They also sent me the pieces that were missing from last month because they sent my stuff out a little extra early, so I'll have it in time. Um, yeah, I also got the pieces that were missing, just in case you're like tracking that and you're like, did Alec get her stuff? Of course I did. They're super good. So here are the add-on or the add-on embellishments. So the add-on is like an extra fee for that kit too, but I really like having a few extra things. And it's funny because I don't use many embellishments, but I really like having extra ones. So here we go. So I have this full sheet. It's like full, like new in packet. So it's the full sheet of these chipboard accents that go with this. And you can kind of see the full icons that go with this collection. Oh, I see a little rainbow in there. Looking at a few things, there's butterflies and bees for Calvin Ball. We've got the bird with a birdhouse. That would be good. We got a little bit of a banner thing happening here. I don't even know what colors are on the list anymore. Pink, I think, right now, and maybe orange. I think we got some orange in here. It's peachy orange. Does it count? Does it count? It sounds like it counts. Okay. I don't use embellishments, but I feel like I need extras. Yes, that's I use some, but I am not a heavy on the embellishment kind of person. Okay. The next kit. Let's get on with looking at kit stuff so we can get on with scrapping. It's tough though, because I love examining. Okay, so first off, we can see with this kit, it is called Echo Park's Happy St. Patrick's Day. And it includes this full, for the embellishments, the full 12 by 12 sticker sheet, which is nice. Oops, going the wrong way. Got to sit a little more centered here. So yeah, all of the different icons in a cute St. Patrick's Day, which if anybody is like not paying attention, that's tomorrow. I see some people already wearing their green shirts today, and I wish I had been thinking of that. But honestly, I would have a hard time finding a green shirt in my closet right now because I did wardrobe editing, you know? So green shirts, turns out most shades of green, not my best friend. Not, not my best friend. I'll have to find a pastel green because, oh, I really like this. This is super cute and playful. The little pot of gold at the end of the rainbow with the cute little clouds. Adorable. See, I could wear this. Does this count as green? Like the background, it's like more aqua. On the back, oh, it's a cut apart sheet. Okay, that's fun and playful. And then we get a sneak peek of this stripe paper. It's a lot. Like there's it's a lot. But like when you cover up a bunch of it, then it's quite nice. But I tell you, just looking at it right now, my eyes are going a little blurry. But I do like it. And like once you put stuff on it, like you take your pictures and put those on it, it'll be good. And besides, maybe you're just going to use like little pieces of it. Oh, this is a pretty floral. Look at the little pretty florals up close. And yeah, that is really pretty actually. Very nice. There's a lot of colors going on in here. You'll notice that with a lot of kits, they don't have too many colors. There's kind of like some kind of guideline that the designers use. I think they've got an extra color like in this kit. And then we've got a really nice green monochromatic shamrock paper. Very good. And then we've got some lucky banners. So some say March, some say Irish, some say party. And yeah, that's all I see, but like several on there. And you got your lucky horseshoes. So cute. Okay, and this comes with 2 sheets of black cardstock. We got that full sheet of the icons. And so what's in my add-on embellishments for this? Let's find that. And so for this one, in the add-on embellishments, I have a half a pack of Echo Park ephemera. And so we've got lots of the little pieces in here. So this is a half pack of the ephemera for this one. So we got Kiss Me, I'm Irish. We've got little leprechaun dudes. It's your lucky day, March 17th. Like, that's a super like useful piece. If you're scrapbooking St. Patrick's Day, I would put this piece on there immediately. And this is actually a little frame. It's like two pieces, right? So you can have the little frame and the little center for this one. I might leave them together for now because who knows. Yeah, but I got like a really nice variety of pieces of ephemera, and that looks pretty good. Okay, so I don't have any St. Patrick's photos like left over from last year or something. I'm wearing my Calvin Ball shirt since it's the and avocado is green, says Samara. She's got her Calvin Ball shirt on. I have my Calvin Ball a notebook handy because that's where I track my points. Not that I'm like a high point roller. But I like to keep track. And so I actually have one of the little Calvin Ball notebooks. It's so cute. And they have like the little line pages, but it's like the tight lines, like the college ruled. That's what someone reminded me the other day. Yeah. And then yeah, okay, so this is really cute. Did I put those away? Not quite right. Okay, so we're only halfway through looking. I'm sorry it's taking forever, but apparently I like everything today. So we're off to a good start. Off to a good start. Ooh, ooh. Okay, well, this is really pretty. Look at this. Oh, okay. Well, this is Simple Stories, Simple Vintage Spring Garden. So we've got some embellishments, which we'll look at in a second. But look at this paper. Okay, so I will say this line across here is very distracting. There's a few that are kind of there, but this one is very big. And it kind of has like this little printed like sales notice, like advertisement almost, like ancient advertisements. It's a little distracting from the design, but yeah, you can kind of see in there wholesale grocers, like they've layered different pieces in there. I'm not a fan of that, but I love the paper. I'd probably just cover this part up a lot. Now we know. Oh, and this is a nice backside, like for a monochromatic. Um, it's a really pretty design. Like look at the swirlies, and then you have almost like these little swirly hearts, almost shapes to them. Pretty. Ooh, I like this. Very nice. Monochromatic with the little bit of honeycomb in the background. I'd use the other side of that. It says Maggie. Yeah, like the butterflies. I could see covering a lot of it actually, even though like the butterflies themselves are really pretty. This part gets really distracted for me. Um, oh, and this is nice. Like a little side element paper. Yeah, I love having the little cutouts on these. Oh, how many times have you guys seen me do that on one of these live? About a million, but I love them. So. And then we have this a simple vintage spring garden paper, and it's got the lined paper with the little columns. You've got a little bit of the red like ginghams and some little plaid stuff in the background or something. I don't know. Like interesting. That's neat. Trying to figure out like how the colors all fit together. Like this paper and this paper don't really tell me that they go together that well, honestly. Um, oh, and that's really pretty too. It's like up close texture of like a patterned like fabric almost, because you can see like the texture, but it's not actually texture. It's like flat paper, but it looks all textury, like it's on a linen-y kind of fabric, right? So I like that. That's a really cool effect, actually. So this collection is, I guess, seeing it all together like this, it's a little better. There's elements I don't understand. Maybe I would have to see the full collection. But like each page themselves is pretty, so it's good. Um and then we have fig swirl paper, which is not exactly white. It's like kind of a gray, a light gray. So let's have a look at these embellishments in here. So I've got a fifth of an ephemera packet and a few brads and some foam stickers. So here's the little brads. And here is a fifth of the ephemera. Like for a fifth, I think that's a lot for doing the layout. And then we've got some nice title pieces. And I'll just bring those up so you can have a good peek at them. So you got a little bit of this and a little bit of that. I love these little puffy, like the foam backed. And then you've got some, the flowers are so gorgeous. Oh my goodness. I could have used like a full pack of these ones because these are kind of things that I do use really well. But now I know. Oh, and there's a cute little bee in here too. Bees are having a moment. Have you noticed? Oh, these nails are having a moment. But bees are definitely having a moment. I think like they have found something that no scrapbooker is like really complaining about. It's like, oh, there's bees in all the collections lately. And we're like, cool. It's not like a llama or an avocado or a hedgehog or something. We see bees and we're all like, nice, bees. Like we've always had butterflies, so maybe they've joined the ranks with the butterflies and we just get bees and butterflies now. Okay, and so final kit, also simple stories. So we had two from Echo Park because we had the Cartabella and the Echo Park, and now we have two simple stories. And I'm wondering if we might see more things like that in the future, as we know that Pinkfresh is stepping back from their scrapbook stuff. Okay, so we got some embellishments. Wait, did we look at add-on? Oh, yeah, we did, because it was the little pieces. Okay, we did, right? The add-on stuff. Oh no, I forgot. They're hiding. So for add-on embellishments with that collection, maybe this is what I needed to look at before I pull this out. Now I can see how all the color palette fits together by looking at that 12 by 12 sticker sheet, right? Like when you're looking at the butterflies and everything else, now we see all the pieces and how it all fits together. I know. Bonnie says I love simple stories. I do. I love them. I will critique like an individual piece of paper because I don't think I need to love every paper, but as a company, love simple stories. And their simple vintage collection, I love them. I love using them to scrapbook with too, which is a big thing. Like immediately I want to use this. And like look how good it is for Calvin balls. So if you have this on your desk right now, you've got bees, there's a rabbit, florals, there's hearts, there is a birdhouse, there is the little viewfinder thing that's on the stuff. Kind of like a ticket, I think, is on the thing. I don't know. There's like a lot of pieces. So yeah, lots of fun stickers, like all the stuff. So, very much like that. Okay, final kit. Final kit. We got Simple Stories. It's called Remember. And this is a really soft, muted colored palette. And it is really pretty. You've kind of got like this dusty, rosy, peachy, and then you've got the yellows, and then you've got the blues in here with a bit of grays. And here's the background paper. Here's this one up close, actually. Isn't that pretty? So it's a lot more muted. They call it Remember, which would be great Anybody ever scrapbook any vintage photos, any old stuff? Yeah, Nash was like, beautiful paper. Here we've got a little bit of film strip in the background. I bet you that's a Calvin Ball thing. Heritage and vintage. Yes, says Bonnie. I know, it really has that vibe. It's nice. Without feeling like too old. Sometimes the papers that they make are too brown. They're a little too brown. A little bit like, okay, we know it was a long time ago, but people lived their life in color back then too, you know? Like maybe their TV wasn't, but I get tired of the sepia photos and all the brown, right? So this one has nods to brown. I'm not going to pick on this because it has the nods to the brown in the collection, but it doesn't have that everything is brown. And look at these cute little dandelion fluffs flying away. On this blue. It's like a soft blue. And oh, this one's a cut apart sheet too. Oh, you've even got in memory. I'm not gonna say that word. My mouth just tripped over it so bad. Memories of you, thinking of you. Oh, so you could even do up some little cards and have your journaling on these. Oh. And then I've got two sheets of walnut cream. So they've matched this color so nicely to this collection. It's a perfect match. Good job to the gals at ScrapRoom, doing it right. Now I will say that cream is not my favorite, but this is lovely, and having the matching cardstock really helps a lot. Okay, let's look at the little pieces that are included. First off, I have a some foam stickers. So I've got tomorrow and forever. And then little pieces in here. So there's floral. I've got a little dove. Oh, they're not showing up really good on this background. I should have kept the black one out. I've got little letters. Uh, who's good at Scrabble? What have I got here? SHI. Oh, I thought it said shine for a second. It does not. I can spell Shire, and I've got an extra H. It'll say something really with memories and remember and stuff. Oh, there's another letter. Maybe that would have helped. Okay. Cherish, thank you. Yep, because there was, so. Oh, Daniela's right on it. Look at that. And do we see the word cherish on the stickers? Because this is my add-on embellishments. And so, oh, that's cool. They've got a different word in the little dots. And I don't know if the word cherish is on here. Cool. Good thing she was here to save me on that because I was not coming up with it. Maybe I'm not doing enough word scrambles. Okay, let's clean these up. This is really sweet. I'm not going to be scrapbooking with this one today. I know that already because I just went on a holiday and I'm planning to scrap some holiday stuff. So beautiful. This paper, I think out of all the papers that we saw today, this is my very favorite paper actually. So just saying. Don't know what that counts for, but it counts to me. That was my favorite of the day. But I didn't have like any bad like super bad choices. Some that just weren't perfect. Okay, so what do I have? I have a couple of options. I have one of me and my hubby. We did this bridge adventure where you walked across a couple of bridges, a series of bridges that were kind of like a Indiana Jones bridge with like the slats. There's a slat, and you step from slat to slat. So it was kind of fun. You're on a harness, so it's not like it doesn't feel dangerous, but it was fun. And So I thought that maybe with the colors, I could get away with using this spring collection. I think that would be really nice. Really nice. So let's look here. This lip gloss rolls into the screen. Okay, so I thought we would play with this. Definitely, I won't be leaning into the spring elements because we actually were, um, this was on Vanuatu near Fiji, and it was not spring there because they're on the other side. So I won't lean into the spring, but I think that the colors in this will pick up with the yellows that we wore, and then I can accent with some of this peachy color. I'd like to use some of that green if I can. What's on the other side of the wallpaper? Oh, nice, nice. Okay, good. Nice, nice. Okay, so that's what's up for me. I've got this white cardstock to go with. I'll just set that off to the side for a sec. And even though I don't plan to use like words like spring, I think like a little bit of the bees, having even rubber boots would be okay because I'll tell you the weather we had through our trip through that area was very, very soggy. I did not wear rubber boots, but I tell you, my shoes look like I should have had them like after I left some of these places. So there is that. Okay. Oh, oh, there it is. We've had a lot of stuff going on up here, uh, in prepping all kinds of things. We have a reunion coming up this summer, Scrap Happy reunion. So I've been working on stuff for that, trying to get some things ready for that, getting some replays. We just filmed the video for our unexpected inspiration challenge, so I hope to have it finished edit today and have it up over this weekend. Um, yeah, so there's a few things going on, and yeah, should be good. Okay, I'm just gonna take all of these strips off of here because I think I'm gonna use all the papers today, actually. I don't know that I'll use the wallpaper. We'll see, but I plan to use the polka dot side. And then we'll have a look at the Calvin Ball list of rules, like points basically. And I'll see how many I can clean up on today. So this will be a Scrapbook Live / Calvin Ball holiday page. And I think it's gonna be great. So I do not have a, oh, I should mention the stuff. Here we go. Let's mention the stuff. So with this, you can see, oh, there was coffee in my packet too, but I've wrapped it already and put it beside my coffee machine. Now, I did not need to have coffee this morning. So there is not coffee right now, but early afternoon, that sounds good. And this month we have coconut macaroon coffee. So yeah, coconut macaroon. I'm in for it. That sounds delicious. And I'll tell you, even if I never drank the coffees, opening up the kit to the smell of the flavored coffees that they include is so good that it's 100% like worth it, even if you're not a coffee drinker, just to get the tiny little sample, because like it's a 1 cup sample, right? Like you're making 1 cup with it. So yeah, pretty cute. Okay, so where do you want to go with this? Also, on the sheet, there is a sketch. This is their sketch. They have a 2 photo sketch on this one this month. Of course, like if you did smaller photos, you could change the layout and stuff in here. You could do like 2 3x4s on each one and have 4 3x4 photos. Do like a little photo collage or something. But yeah, that's a nice like simple sketch. So maybe I'll use some of that as a base. I don't have 2 photos, but honestly, with the stories I'm going to want to tell, I do have action photos of us on this bridge, but I didn't print all of those, and I think maybe that would be a good complimentary page. Maybe I should be planning to make a complimentary page right now. Let's do it. Okay, so I don't have the other pictures printed, but that's okay. But we're gonna plan to make a 2-page spread today. That'll be something new. I haven't done that. Have I ever done that on one of these live things? I don't think so. So I might actually need to pull in this white paper. Okay, so I'm going to cut the strips off of that too. And then I'll show you my attack for a 2-page spread. I'm going to use a little bit of that design for the okay. So anybody else look at this sketch and think, huh, I should make a 2-page spread? Because that's what happened with my brain. Where does it go? I don't know. Also, there is a beautiful cut file that you get with this collection this month. Like, look at that watering can with all those flowers. Like, when I get some flowers out here, we are months away from flowers, you guys. Like, this is not coming in my near future, but when we get to flowers, that cut file's coming back. It's adorable. Springtime. It's springtime for some of you. Some of you, I've seen pictures on Facebook, have daffodils and flowers already. I have snowbanks. There are no flowers. But it is melting. It is melting fast. Yesterday, it was 12 degrees Celsius here. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but probably like high 40s, maybe? Something like that, I think. We're getting like, it was warm. So that snow is gonna go. Okay, we've got the strips cut. We're gonna make a 2-page spread. Okay. And I think looking at this, so they've got a big square in the back, and I won't have enough of any one pattern to just do that. But I think we can cheat that and play with that. I'm actually going to use both of these. And yeah, I didn't love that one. So I'm going to take a big piece of this and run it across both pages. I think I'll do like about a 3-inch strip, which is a little bit like this strip here, but I'm going to go a little bit wider than that. And go a little bit wider. And I'm thinking I might not have it run right to the edges. I might just tuck that in a little bit from the edges so it looks a little more like that. Might do that. And honestly, if I separated it into little pieces, I'm gonna, oh, okay. Yeah, it's a beautiful soft green. Okay. Wet snow. Where's the snow? It's melting now in Colorado. I'm still up in Canada, so there's still snow. I'm in Alberta. Okay, so this looks really cool, and I'm gonna use this as kind of the idea, but as I laid it down, I told you this is like a rickety Indiana Jones kind of thing that I went across, right? So I think we're gonna make this into the rickety bridge. I think that would be really fun. Like I just looked at it and I'm like, oh, it's the bridge. Like, so we're gonna go and we're gonna play with this a little. Um, so I'm gonna do from, oh, maybe if I did a actual ruler first, that might be easier. Okay. I can draw on it right on the back. So we're gonna do a tiny little bit of planning on here. And oh, that's funny. I can hear the rooster. I don't think you'll hear him in the background, but um, yeah. Okay, so we've got 1 inch, 2 inch, 3. No, do I want to have? think I'm gonna leave it inch. If I do 1-inch strips, I want to make them a little narrower. So we're gonna go in 1 inch first, and then we'll go at 1/2 inch. And then we'll go 1 inch, 1/2 inch, 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 1 inch. And we'll see how far that takes us. Okay. Should be interesting. So with this trimmer, I can put my blade in not exactly at the top. So I've made this 3 inches. So I'm gonna go from 1/4 inch at the top and down to there on every one of the lines that I drew. And so as I come across, I'm just gonna push into the paper and come up and just line the next one up and go in and down and line the next one up. And if I don't make it too perfect, like I'm trying to, like I'm making it pretty good. But if I don't make it too perfect, it was a rickety bridge, right? Like that was the whole point. It was a rickety little bridge. And so I'm going to cut the little pieces out here, and then I'll cut them the other way. Where are we at there? And worst case scenario, this doesn't turn out the way I wanted it to, and then it's like, oh, okay. I think it'll be good though. And I haven't done something that feels this playful for a little while, right? This is literally making stuff up as we go. And it's not sewing. So anything's better than sewing, right? Yes, we went across this rickety bridge. Now, we signed up for this with the cruise, and it called it a moderate activity. I think some people didn't read that because when they got there, they're like, we're doing what? Like, oh, I didn't know it was going to be like that. I looked at the pictures and everything. I don't know. It was kind of funny. So we get there and we're waiting for everybody to have their turn ahead of us. And, you know, it's how it goes. It takes forever, or it feels like that, like it's taking forever. But we finally get to our turn. And I'm trying to take my phone out of my pocket to film my husband as he's going across the first bridge. But he is such a billy goat that he went so fast across the bridge that I couldn't get my phone out of my pocket and get it turned on, and he was at the other side already. But the first bridge was almost like your training bridge because they actually had the slats, but they put like planks down the slats to make it a little easier. So they worked you in slowly. Well, then you get down to the next, you get to the next bridge, like they're just like bridge to bridge to bridge. You get to the next bridge and they didn't do the slats or like they got the slats, but they didn't do the planks down the slats. So now you're just stepping from little ladder. Like it's like walking across a flat ladder. That's what it was like, except it's on cables. So it's doing this. So it was fun. And it wasn't too scary, right? It was not too scary. And you're on harnesses and you're not going to fall, but it's over top of a river. And the river, like they had just had a bunch of rain and stuff. So the river was I wouldn't call it a raging river, but it was flowing vigorously. How about that? We'll say it was flowing vigorously. Okay, so now I've got all these little slats kind of cut into this. Oh, I could totally like feed something. Oh, like I'm thinking of so many different fun things you can do with this now. Okay. Uh, so we are going to leave the first one, and then we are going to put this in at. Okay, so I want it to stay there as I do the whole thing, and I'm a little bit worried because I'm going to be lifting and putting it down. So I'm just going to tape this down quick to my board. Cuts. I don't need to fight with. Oh, I should probably put it in just a little bit more than this. Just a little. Okay. Yeah, so I finally get my phone out when we get to, well, I get across that first bridge and I said, hey, not so fast. I want to get your picture on this bridge. You can't run across it. How am I going to ever get a picture of this? So we're going to go to here and we're going to lift and we're going to go to here and lift. So he slows down a little bit on the next one, but now I've got my camera out, we're good. And so he's going across, but he didn't quite like exit the bridge. And my guide said that I could go. So I start going across the bridge and no problem. Like I'm agile enough to do this thing, right? Like this is okay. I can walk across this laddery thing. You've got like they've got cable handles for you to hold on to. Like it doesn't feel too scary. And then my bridge starts doing this. Woo! Because he's on the other end, jumping up and down. and, and of course, like, what would I expect this from him? 100%. And I'm just laughing my head off. Like at this point, it's just super funny. And and then the guide at the side, he could hear me laugh and he starts laughing because he could see what Jonas was up to. And we're like, oh my goodness. But it was very fun. It was the kind of thing that kind of looks extreme and then it's not really extreme, but then he made it more extreme because now you're going across a bridge that's doing this. And he also has a lot of faith in their you know, in their equipment there apparently. Whether that's whether that's a bad call or not, I don't know, but we lived. Everybody made it through. And okay. So now as long as I have cut the same pieces, I'll be able to pull these out and I'll have my little slats of my bridge. And the fact that I'm going to do 2 pages today, like this, means that this will take a little bit longer. But here we go. Ta-da! Okay, that took forever, but it looks really good. So I have this cute little bridge. I'm gonna do the next piece just like it. And yeah, that's gonna be a really good little base for this page. Okay. So let's mark the next one and get that one cut too. Very fun. Okay, so I'm getting love on my bridge. It turned out good, right? Turned out good. And I think I'm gonna like bring it in a little bit. So like this part's not gonna be exactly like that, and it'll just kind of carry on from page to the page. Like the only thing they're not doing is like being swoopy bridges. I've done all kinds of little things. I used to play a lot more. And then I just started making like really pretty pages. But these are the pages that make me like when I look back, then I'm like, oh, that's so fun. So don't be scared to play. It's really fun. Always play. Okay, so the first one I did was an inch, and then I started doing half inch, 1 inch, 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 half inch. Did I do one at the end like that? Did I actually get that right? There's one. Oh, did I get something wrong? There's a step and a step and a step. Uh-huh. Yep, I messed it up. I said it out loud so I wouldn't mess it up. But I'm looking at it, I'm like, I did something wrong. Let's try it again and get it right. Okay. And there we go. That's better. I could see a camera strip done basically the same way. Yep. Yeah, it would definitely work pretty good. And I know I actually have um a stencil that kind of has this effect to it somewhere. It's like a really cool stencil that I have. So there's lots of neat things that we can do, right? Okay. Yeah. So that was really fun. That was in Vanuatu. It was called Over Eden or something, Bridges of Eden. And the really funny thing is that on the same, like on this trip, we also went to a place in Australia called Eden, but the whole town is named Eden. So it was, yeah, it was funny to kind of see that. Bonnie's giving me marks for impressive doing this on camera. I'll take it. I'll take it. And if I don't mess it up, then then it'll even be better. But in the end, what do we have to remember? It's just paper. Now, like I don't want to ruin my paper and all, but if I mess this up, turns out I have more paper. uh, yeah. Try try to remember that when it's like, oh, I don't know if I should. No. Yeah. On this holiday, we our next 3 stops were in Fiji. No mistakes in scrapbooking, only opportunities, right? I like to say, like, opportunities for new creativity, I like to say, because sometimes when you're making that mistake, you're being creative, right? And sometimes that thing didn't work out, but something else will. Um, and yeah, so our next 3 stops were Fiji. And the first day, it was raining so much that our excursion got canceled. The next day, there were no beach things that we could book. Like, I'm like, hello, we came to Fiji. Where are the beaches? Oh, I just couldn't see that one. It's like on the leaf. Um, yeah, so there was no beach things that we could book that day. So that was like disappointing when you go to a place like Fiji and you're thinking tropical paradise. And so, yes, that comes with rain. I accept that. But no beaches? Like, what? Where's the beaches? So, yeah, that was a thing. And then, yeah, then the next day, we're supposed to go to the place that was the tropical paradise beach. Like, idyllic. You see the pictures and you're like, yes, this is what I was picturing. Except it was a port where you anchor and it was going to be such big swells, 2.5 meter swells in the ocean, that they're like, we can't tender from that. We can't use our little tenders to take you to shore. So they canceled that stop on our trip. the beach, the beach part of the trip got canceled right there. And it was like, uh. So our next stop was New Caledonia. And in New Caledonia, there was a beach trip that you could book. And so we booked this little island. It's called Amity Island. And we it was a fortune. That's why I was like, oh my gosh, are we really gonna do this one? Yes, we are, because we're gonna go to beach sometime on this trip. Okay, so we booked the little excursion to the beach. It's gonna be fabulous. It's gonna be wonderful. So worth it. We go there. They mentioned something while we're in the little shuttle boat that takes us there. It was actually a really nice shuttle boat that took us there. They mentioned something, but either I wasn't listening or I was talking, and I hear something about, but don't worry about them because just leave them alone and they're fine. Okay. And yeah, so then we get on shore, we walk off the dock, we walk down the beach to a little area where there's some chairs set up. And I walk down to the water and there's a water snake. Yuck. I want to go snorkeling. This is not a good first impression. Okay. Well, I get the snorkel gear. We get in the water. The snorkeling is somewhat okay. However, you start hearing people screaming because they're getting stung by blue bottle jellyfish. Oops. Yep, so now there's jellyfish. Thankfully, we did not get stung. However, because we did go back in the water again later. And after we were done with all of our snorkeling, we go and we sit on our chairs. Oh, the sun has moved, so now we're not under the tree anymore. So we move back under a different tree. You just lay back and you're all like, ah, I'm in paradise. It is so lovely here. And you look up in the tree and there's a big snake. It's not big, according to my husband, but it's a big snake sitting on the tree right above our chairs. I'm highly uncomfortable. And yeah. So then I'm like, okay, let's go to the bathroom because now I have to go pee. Like, no. Off to the bathroom. On the way there, what's in the grass? Another snake. So it's like Snake Freaking Island. We went to Snake Island for this holiday, and I'm like, there is an upside to just going to Hawaii. I'm just gonna say, do you know how many snakes I've seen in Hawaii? 0. You know what they don't have there? Snakes. You know what they don't even put in their zoos? Snakes. So, supposedly, these weren't supposed to kill you, but just saying. So now, okay, so what an adventure. Just say no to snakes. So between the rickety bridge thing and the snakes, I had a true Indiana Jones adventure. Torrential rains, like snakes, rickety bridge. Yep. That was part of our trip. The other main part is like just being on the cruise ship, and seriously, that's just like amazing. So okay, let's see. Oh yes, I have to do the other side. I'm like, are they falling out? How come they're not falling out? I didn't quite finish both sides of the cuts. Okay. But this is looking good. I am feeling very encouraged. Now, if I get through this side without messing it up, it will all be perfect, right? Or something like that. Okay. Do I have my thing set at the right so that I'm checking. I don't have my thing set at the right spot to line up with the other one. So I need to move this up just a little bit to make sure that the little pieces, otherwise you're going to notice that across 2 pages, if I don't line these up the same, your eyes will see that. There we go. Okay. And lift and cut. So yes, that was it. After we did the Fiji adventure, we did the week down to Tasmania. And if you want to see one of the most beautiful places, Tasmania. It was amazing. We did a geological tour the one day, and they had these like this archway that you got to see, like this natural rock archway, and there was supposed to be a blowhole, but the ocean that day was like really calm, so no blowhole. Unlike when we were in Fiji, where the ocean was like being too active. This day it was not active enough to be a blowhole, but all good. Okay, so I have bridges now. That took forever, but it is what it is. I have all these little cute little pieces that could become like a really fun collage kind of thing because they're all roughly the same size. So there we go. We've got some bridges over the water. I've got my picture somewhere. This away, and I've got this. Okay. So I'm just gonna focus on one side, I think, for a little while and do a little bit of the scrapbook in here. But I'm gonna cut this piece off right now because I don't want to bring this all the way to this side. So I'm gonna cut that down. Yeah, it was good. Sharon says, yep, give me Hawaii. Yes, Hawaii is like, ah, I have never felt more at home than when I'm in Hawaii. And like it's nowhere like my home. I will tell you, it is like the opposite of where I live. But it's like I get out of that airplane and when I'm there, you can just breathe. And it's just so good. I've never felt more like relaxed and at peace, like so comfortable as when I'm there. So magic. It's a magical place. Okay. So we have this one and wanted to do a little bit of something behind my photo. Now, it'd be helpful if I could find my photo. There it is. So I've got us, and then I'll print more pictures, like probably like little collage of pictures. People are so wonderful. On Kauai anyway, she says. The people are wonderful. It's yeah. Okay, so we need a little bit of accents with some, okay, putting this on there would be a mistake. On here is okay. That would be wrong. Green is okay. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna mat this on here first, just to make a little bit of separation, and then I can do some other stuff. And I'm trying to think of like, maybe I'm gonna want more pattern this way. So I think I'll do this way so that I'm not kind of destroying my pattern on the other side. I don't need a big mat here, but I need a little bit. Yes. So question, like, have you traveled to a place where you just felt like, oh, this place is just where I was meant to be. Maybe you're like that at your home. Maybe you actually live in the place right now where it feels that way. Like, I'm not going to say that I dislike my home. I like it, and this is where my family is. But if somebody like magicked and said, Alice, you could just live the rest of your life in Hawaii, I probably would just be that. Like, I feel the green pops you out both in the picture. So Nasha's agreeing with me. She says, yes, good choice. It's good to have a reassurance to know that I'm on track. Oh, this one looks maybe empty. Let's have a look. Yep. Okay, why is that still sitting here? Ah, here we go. Okay, and oh, we're past the top of the hour. So how about if I put this picture down? I don't have much going on here yet. I've got a bridge. I've created a rickety bridge, and we have a photo. But I think we should do the draw, right? I think that's fun. That's fair. And then I can think just for half a second about how I want to approach the rest of my patterns on here, because I want to include a bunch more of this pattern, like between this gingham stuff and the floral. I want to get a bunch of that on here. I think it's good, so I want to include it. But I will also want to have enough to embellish the second page with it. So that's just the consideration that I have. Okay. So we do a random number choice. So let me pull up participants. There are 39 in the house. One of them is me, so that means 38. So I'm going to pull up a random number generator right now. And we will count off the winner. So 1 out of 38. And we will say generate, what does it say? 29. So 29 is the winner. Let's look at the list here. 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, and 29. Michelle with the iPad, you are our winner today. So congratulations to Michelle, Michelle with 1L. And I need you to email me. So congratulations to Michelle. And I'm just going to type my email address here in the chat so that you can send me your message, send me a quick email and say Scrapbook Live winner. So congratulations. And hopefully she'll put a comment in here so that we know that she heard and that she knows that she's won. So she says, thanks so much. Okay. So you should see my email address. I can type it in again for you. And yeah, so click that, send me an email, say that I won the Scrapbook Live, and I will get you hooked up with the gals from the Scrap Room. I'll send that over to Rochelle, and she will get you hooked up with your kit. She actually puts this kit, the same one that I'm using right now, she puts that aside for you. So congratulations. And yeah, I hope that you have as much fun using this. Like, it is such a beautiful kit. They just do such a nice job. And yeah, so thank you so much. Hold on a second. Let's go here. Thank you so much to the Scrap Room. I should have done this before. Thank you so much to the Scrap Room for like sponsoring our prize for these sessions. They are so good about like not only sponsoring the prize, but making sure that I have the kits in time in Canada to be able to do the session. So they send out the kits when they send them out to their designers. So I feel like extra special that they make sure that I have them in time for us to do this together. And she says, thanks again. I'm so excited. You're the best, Alice. And thanks to the Scrap Room. Yes, thank you so much to the Scrap Room. I love it. Like, I pay for my kits because I'm like, bring them on. Like, I love them. So I'm happy to support companies, and we all know like how precious that can be, especially as we get news about the companies that we've had in the last couple of weeks. So yeah, support the ones that are doing all the fun things for us, and yeah, they're here doing the fun things for us, right? They're making this happen. So good stuff. Okay. Next, I'm going to use some of this gingham. So I'm going to keep working on stuff. Give me another few minutes of this, and then we'll do a little bit of show and tell. So if you've been creating along with me, if you've been maybe playing some Calvin ball or want to show us what you've been up to, maybe you've been making cards or something else really cool. Like if you finished a quilt like this week, hold it up for us. We want to see it, right? Like we love having some show and tell and getting to see what you've been working on. It doesn't have to be scrapbooking. Like we like seeing all kinds of creative things, but like, scrapbooking is my first love. I shouldn't say that because, I have a husband, I have a couple kids. So so yes, anyways, I love scrapbooking, and yeah, we'd love to see what you've got going on. Okay. Okay, let's do that. Okay, I'm gonna cut this paper in half first, I think. Better if I could just, I'll show you what I'm doing in a second here. Let's change the screen. Uh, there we go. Okay, so I've cut this in half. I would have done the next step earlier, like not earlier, I guess, but in that step, but you'll see in a second. So, okay, I'm gonna take this piece and I'm gonna have it kind of above this bridge, right? It's gonna be above this bridge. And I think I'm gonna tear that top piece off. So it's gonna be like this rough edge. Now, I could have just tore it right down the middle, but have you ever tried tearing down the middle of a 12 by 12 sheet? That's not very fun to do. And also, if I tear down the middle, then one of them is gonna have the nice like white tear, and the other side is not gonna have that. And that bothers me on a 2-page spread. So I won't do it like that. I'm gonna tear each one individually, and I'm just gonna like tear off some stuff here. And tearing a little bit like this is so much easier than trying to tear a page down the middle, like of a full sheet. But this will just give us like this nice little soft feel to that. And which way? I'll go this way. I'll do the same for the other side. Now, even these tore pieces that I'm tearing off right now, they're not like done, right? Like I keep them with my kit until I kill my kit, like these pieces, because uh sometimes you need a little bit more of something, and having a little torn tucked layer or something like that is just like that little element that you needed to make it like super lovely. I think I'm gonna line that up with that, and then I can do this on the other side. So we've got this going on here like this, and now I can have a little bit of that floral just kind of peeking out of the top at the top on the other side, on this side. I think that'll be pretty nice. So I just need to figure out how high I want it. So looks like if I do 4 and 4, I should have about 8 here. I've got 7 and 3/8, so that'll work. I'm gonna cut this little extra little tail piece off. I leave it on until I know, because sometimes you need a vertical something, sometimes you need a horizontal something. So I always prefer to cut, like when this is the one I cut the mat out of, right? So I always leave them on until I know, because if I wanted this vertical piece, that's totally different. You get a different effect. And I don't like putting my florals and stuff on sideways on my pages. I'm fussy with that. If you know, you know, like a sideways flower looks different, right? They do look different. Okay, so there. This will be enough, and I can tuck this out of the top. And I think I'll have to do something kind of fun in the background down here. So I'm having an idea. We'll see how this goes. It's like, okay, is Alice gonna mess things up at the last minute? Maybe, maybe, but I've had an idea. We'll see if that's famous last words for today. Okay, so we've got this. It's 11 and 1, 2, 3, 8. Great. Doesn't matter which side. Shouldn't. Okay. That's the same. 11, 3, 8. So in Canada, we are supposedly on the metric system. And I say supposedly because I think that my US friends believe that Canada is metric. But we live so close to you that in order to function with you, we kind of have to learn both. Like there are a lot of places where we use um we use imperial and not metric in so many places, and it's funny because like we can laugh about how many ways we do things, and picking and choosing where we do stuff, right? It's so funny. Um, like when we go grocery shopping, we technically buy our groceries in kilos. However, the sign, if the big lettering on the banana sign says 99 cents a pound, because if they told us in kilos, it says it in little numbers underneath. If they told us in kilos, we wouldn't know what they were talking about. We're like, is that a good deal? Is that a bad deal? We don't know. There you go. And yeah, my dad worked at a lumber mill and he was always building things. And so I had to learn how to measure in feet and inches as a kid because I'd like to help my dad out in the shop when he was doing stuff. I was the official board holder as he was cutting things with the skill saw. Right? Anybody else have that job? I'm sure. So yeah, it's just really funny how you can be in between. Daniela says even in Germany, we often use imperial for scrapbooking or a mix of both. And it just makes sense when so many of the things are designed around that, right? Like when you have 12 by 12 paper, I'm not gonna measure it and say it's 30 and 1/2 centimeters or 30.5 centimeters, right? It's like it's 12 by 12. Okay, so now we have this and this. And so I kind of have the effect, if you notice, of this piece in the background. So you see the piece in the background? I kind of have that effect here now, kind of, right? And also a little bit of this piece that kind of reaches across, but like I'm not going past it. Um, we'll see. Maybe I'll find a ribbon or something that would go nice with this because, like, I think there's points for ribbon, isn't there? Calvin ball. So, a ribbon might be good. Um, but yeah, I think this is coming along pretty good. I'm liking it. So, um, but I was thinking, okay, so a burlap ribbon maybe. And twine. Oh, do we have twine? Yeah, we probably have twine on the list. Uh, so I was thinking that underneath this bridge, there was water, right? There was this rushing water. It wasn't maybe the bluest water ever, but maybe I could add some like water effect to that with some mixed media down here. I'm a little scared because I'm a little worried I'm gonna wreck it. But at the same time, yeah, you gotta play once in a while, right? So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna mark out where this fits. I'm gonna try it. If it sucks, I can turn the stuff around on the paper and cover it up. So, so that's what we'll do. I'm just gonna mark it right now. And then I'll mark it in just a little. So just to cover the pencil line so that I don't have to do any work, I moved it around just a little. Okay. So I have marked out, or roughly marked out, this section. And I'm gonna add a little bit of mixed media in here. Like I said, if you could do your mixed media on another piece, well, that would just be like smart and planned, but I'm more of a wing it person, so we're gonna go for it. So I pulled out like this stuff. I'm hoping it's not dried out. I have blue and I have white here. So I think I'm just gonna smear some of it into here, and then you're gonna maybe get a little bit of a watery effect underneath. If not, it will pick up the colors from these flowers. And if nothing, it'll just add a little bit of fun blue to the page, even if it doesn't actually look like water. But we're gonna go for it because that's just how she goes. Yeah, like doing it on another piece, that would be a very smart and safe way to do it. But we're not going to play that way today. Okay. Now, oh, okay. I was a little worried this one would be dried up because I think I opened 3 things the other day that were dried up. It happens. And this stuff is really, really nice, actually. I quite like it. This is the Nuvo Glacier Paste. I would say it's one of my favorite mixed media products just because it's so easy to play with and work with. And I have done that a fair bit. Okay. And this is a textured paper background, so it's going to pick up into the little divots and stuff too. Okay. I'm not too worried about it being like perfectly perfect because a lot of this is actually covered, right? Okay. It looks good on this side, then I'll do the other page like this too, but if in the end I don't like it, then I'll skip it. Oh, I don't have a paper towel here like I normally would. Oh, there's a little piece here. Okay. Yeah, this stuff is really pretty. It has little mica flakes. You can see that this paper is not a mixed media paper, but whatever, we're going with it. I'm just gonna add a few little highlights with the white, but I don't want to put my spatula back in the white, so I'm closing the lid on it right now. All I get is what I've got. Okay. Now, I'm pretty sure I've covered up the holes from this. I think it's gonna look good. I think it'll look nice. Will it look like water? Maybe. But, you know, either way, it's gonna look nice. I did some mixed media, and I think it'll be pretty. So I won't be able to put this together quite like this for a little bit, But I think we have a little bit of time for some show and tell. So maybe I'll just tape this down on my desktop so if I can see if I can convince it to stay a little straight. Okay. So it looks pretty, right? You can see the gloss and the shine on it. I like it. So yeah, and I think once you see it through the little thing, you get the fun idea. I think it's fun. Okay. Okay, so Amy has her hand up, Renee has her hand up. Hold on, let me switch cameras. Go back to here and let's have a look. So Amy, I saw your name up first. So did you want to come up? So I'm just going to remind everybody before sharing that I do share this on my YouTube channel. So it will be on my YouTube channel. So let's have a look here. So if that changes anything, then let me know. Okay, Amy, you've got your camera. Let me switch you to the spotlight.
So I have been going through, my mom is cleaning out her house. She still lives in the house I was born in, and it's just huge. She'll live there for a few more years, but she's been cleaning out stuff. So she's been giving us our tubs of our childhood memories. And so I came across my first ever scrapbook that I made. And so I thought I would share with you this. Now, you be kind. This was from 2002, and I was 14 years old.
We love
So,
things like that.
but I'm still happy I have it. Like, I would not remember these people's names on these pictures if I hadn't just written them in this scrapbook. And I saved the things from the trip, like my plane stubs and the itinerary that we got. This was in 2002, and in eighth grade, our school got to go to, at the end of eighth grade, did a class trip to Washington D.C. So I even did, like, we went to the Veterans Memorial. I did a little rub of the names on the wall, and like all I had was pictures and pens, but I still, like, I don't know, it's pretty creative even back then. Like, I made my own flip flaps just out of the photos. Like, I didn't put them in pockets or anything, but I just taped the photo like a little flip flap. So even back then, this is kind of where my scrapbooking creativity kind of started. Was Now this is what, 22 years ago now. So yeah.
I am in love with this project. Oh my goodness. That is
But yeah,
so fun.
I didn't know that I had one that went back even further. Like, I thought my first ever scrapbook was my senior year scrapbook I made, and I'm really proud of that one. But it's funny because to see from this to my senior year scrapbook, I'll have to show that sometime, like the amount of growth that went into it. Because I was scrapbooking that whole time that I didn't realize, oh, my scrapbooking has really grown from when I started. So,
Oh, wow. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. That's amazing. It is so fun to see that. And like, don't give yourself like, don't be like, don't judge. I'd be like, look at what I did. Like, embrace it fully because I think that when we look at scrapbooking, like there are so many ways to be a scrapbooker. And I had this conversation with a couple of guys the other day, actually. And I said, well, what do you guys know about scrapbooking? And they're like, well, paper, fancy stuff and all this. And I said, yeah, that's often what we hear, right? Because scrapbooking has a persona. And it gets a bad rap sometimes. But I really think that when we look at what we're doing and like the preservation of our memories and documenting our stories and um it's giving life to some of this history. And right now we're living some of these moments, but that becomes the history. And if we look back at those photos, like from earlier generations, and we look and we say, wow, this picture of my grandma, she's next to the car. You get to see the car, you get to see like the clothes she's wearing. Like you're seeing this piece of time, but you don't always have the story that goes with that. Sometimes you do, and it's like, oh my gosh, I actually have this great story. But I think that you're seeing the significance of that. You're seeing the relevance by seeing that story of your grandma. And even when it's not your own relatives and you hear stories, like, why do we watch like period movies? Why do we watch like movies that are like dramatic retellings of like the past? Like all of these are our way of like showing the significance of the storytelling. And that's what we're doing right now. We're just documenting this piece of our life. And we might not be a historical figure, but sometimes seeing that real life of a real person, like you look at like the archaeologists when they go into those digs and they're like, this person, we can see the things that they cooked, and these were their little pieces of dishes and all this stuff, right? And like they're getting all excited about the little chips that they find of a piece of pottery. And it's that same thing. They're giving significance. They're telling that story that hasn't been documented. And look what we're doing. We're doing it. So, and then we look at how many different ways there is to be a scrapbooker with all the fancy stuff. Like here I am using mixed media and stuff like that. But I could easily have popped these into a digital page with just a photo and some words and printed that and had it in a book in my hands. And that would still be scrapbooking. And when I said that to the guys that I was talking to, it was two men, and they were like, then I guess I have done scrapbooking before because they've made photo books. They've added words to photos. They've made a book about a holiday that they went on. And it's just seeing what you're doing in a different light. And we've brought in so much creativity and artistry and like fun products that kind of make people separated. But when it comes down to it, it's that's still what we're doing, right? So
Yep.
I don't
If you
know.
still have to like I feel like beginners, especially if you start at an older age, it's harder to see yourself at the beginning stage of like I'm just learning to scrapbook, and people ask me like, oh, how'd you get so good at scrapbooking? And I tell
Yeah.
them, well, I should be good at it after 22 years of practice. Like if you practice something, anything, a sport, a hobby, an interest, anything for 22 years, you hopefully have improved in those 22 years. Even if you're not
Right.
a master and you're a professional, it's like you've at least improved. And so if you put your time and energy into anything, you're going to get better at it. But nobody wants to start at the start. And that's where everybody begins. So that's why I like looking back at my beginning ones.
And I look, it's easier to see like the improvement in your artistic skills sometimes. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm so much better at putting colors together, and I do such creative things, and I do all this, and I take better composed photos, and I do, but like it's like all of the pieces. Like, okay, so I take better photos, I tell better stories, right? Like it's all of those pieces together. But we all started somewhere, and I love looking back at the first books because it shows such a difference. Like
You know,
now, all my pages pretty much have stories. Back then, what am I gonna say? I don't know what to say. I don't have that problem anymore. Like I've always got something to say.
well, and
Um,
load helps too, tell a lot of really good stories. So
right. That it kind of unlocked something for me actually, that when I didn't create load, I carried the torch very proudly, but um I didn't start it. And so when I did my very first load, I didn't think you could scrapbook every day for a whole month. I didn't actually think that people did that. Didn't know. Didn't know. Didn't think that I could do it. But then I did it. And also, I loved my pages because so many of them had that story base to them and they were so much easier to make. And so it was funny because I was so photocentric before, and it's not like photos aren't an important part of my page, but they're almost like an embellishment. They're there for me to help tell a story. And so my thinking about scrapbooking has really changed with that. And I love it, you know? It's made me fall in love with it even more. And yeah, yeah, it's cool. Anyways,
all right.
side track.
Side tangent.
Let Alice go into like her whole motivation for scrapbooking. Anyways, we are going to have some more shares. And I have Renee with her hand up. Renee, would you like to share? I'll just let you turn your mic on for us. You'll need to turn your mic on. Yeah. Oh, something froze. I hope It's not me. It doesn't look like it's me.
Here.
Oh, I can hear you now.
So,
Yes.
Amy, my first scrapbook. Okay, great. I was going
Oh.
to say, Amy, my first scrapbook. You made me feel a little aged today, but mine was the sticky pages, and you just slap those photos in there, straps of paper to write, the information on. So, but yep, so I have like double, probably 40 some years of putting pictures in books.
It's amazing, right? And that time adds up fast. I am getting a little bit of like in and out with your feed, Renee, just letting you know, like it's kind of coming and going a little bit. Um, okay, I don't have anything right now. Oh, maybe coming back. Oh, I can see your page is frozen on a spot. Do you all see the same thing as me? Like, Roz, do you see the same thing? Yeah. So it's frozen. We can see your page, but I can't hear you and I can't see anything else. So, but I can see your page. It looks beautiful. Like you've got such nice colors going on in that layout, but it's not working. So I'm gonna take the spotlight down. I don't know what's happening with that. Internet. This time it's not me. I was on a live thing recently and I dropped feed and like I'm like, seriously? No. That's not okay. Um yeah, Beth says the same thing. She's like, your page looks great, Renee. I wish we could hear you, but it looks lovely. Maybe tell the story in the chat. And question from Amy, is that 49th and Market paper? So we got some sleuthing going on too. Okay. Is there anyone else that has something they would like to share? You can raise your hand or just turn your mic on for us. And whether it's something you're making today or you've made in the last little bit here that we can check out, that's all good. I'm not seeing anything off the. Nobody's like anxious, like, oh my gosh, let me show you. So, I no, I'm playing a little bit, you guys. Okay, so I'll show you this. I'm gonna take this off my desk before I like smear it on everything and it doesn't dry properly. Let me set that up here. But I will show you how not everything turns out. I'll give you a little bit of show and tell how not everything turns out. So let's go back to my other desktop here right now. Okay, so I learned this really cool technique from two different scrapbookers, and I've done it before and it was super successful. But I opened up a product the other day and it was dead. And I opened up another one and it was dead. And so then I was running low on choices and I grabbed something else and it didn't work very well. So I've done this galaxy effect before. And you use inks and you do all these different colors in the background and it's amazing. And then you cover them all up with all of the black soot ink. And then you actually go in and use like your like a glittery paste and stuff over top, and then it makes it like iridescent everywhere that you've used the glittery paste. However, I didn't have the right stuff. I tried something else because it was the only one of the only things I could actually get flowing. uh, Turns out this glow in the dark glitter glue from the dollar store didn't work well. Are y'all shocked? What? How how could it be? So, just in case you're thinking, "Oh, I tried this thing, it didn't work." Sometimes it really is the product. Just saying. Sometimes it really is the product. So, it looks like yeah, it kind of looks cool, but also I just look at it and all I feel is disappointment. So, that's a thing that happened. But while I was also looking, I came across this container. It's a Faber-Castell glass bead glitter gel. So I came across this stuff and I opened it up and I'm like, oh, because it was barely spreadable. You know, it's in that paste kind of thing where it used to be a nice paste that you could spread, but now it's more like, oh, I don't know, like half, it's super dried out. So now it's like super gooey, like chunky. However, I was able to convince some of it to go through a stencil, and I don't know if you can see it very well because it's clear glass bead there stuff, but now you can see these little music notes in here. Aren't they just darling? I thought it was such a nice touch. And like I had almost given up on this product, but I was able to get enough of it through the stencil to add to this background paper. Now the paper just comes like this. It's already gorgeous. Do I need to even do anything? But super cute. And I'm going to be using a photo of us by the Sydney Opera House with the Harbor Bridge in the background. So that is the planned stuff. So opera, music notes, and I was pretty excited because I got to use one of the stencils that we had done as prizes for one of our loads in the past. So very nice. And well, I still had this out. So my goal this week is to empty this jug, to empty this little container while it still actually can work because it won't be much spreadable for long, is to get a little bit of that product onto enough pages that I can do stuff. So no, it's not the one that matches April's, but it is a little similar in the shape of it. I did wear it on the trip, actually. I probably have that in a different picture. So I did a little bit of kind of like little star effects on this star type background. And you'll notice that I've done like 3 little areas. So I've done the corners here, and then I've done a little patch, kind of like where I would do like another little embellishment cluster. So I thought that was kind of a fun thing. So I've grabbed a couple, and I'm gonna do some more, but I just wanted to encourage anyone that has felt like, "Ah, when I try these things, it doesn't work. When I pick up my stuff, it's all dried out." Like, I think we've all kind of been there, and you've tried a product and you're like, wow, that was really fun. And then you did it for a bit and then you tucked it away. These ones are not always the best at tucking them away. However, I will say, for our scrap school this month, Sarah Scraps, who does the scrap school within our Scrap Happy membership, she she's going to do some stuff about stenciling, and she says she has a tip on these, and I'm like, I will take it on like containers of stuff. So the only ones I have not had any dry out on me ever yet have been these glacier pastes. I will tell you that so far has been the one that has not dried out, not a single one. And I have many of the little jars. Like, what do I have? 6 of them. I have 6 of them. I'm surprised I only have 6 because I do love them. And I've never had one of these ones dry out for me yet. Maybe it's made differently. Maybe they just, the little seal they have on them is, I don't know. But they're lovely. So yeah, that is kind of fun. Okay. So I'm gonna add the mixed media to the other page now, since it feels like I may as well let that one dry out too. So I've got everything trimmed down to the right size for this page too. I'm just gonna mark it out. So yeah, I just thought that would be fun for you to see. It happens to everybody. And my best advice is to open it and use as much of it as possible all at one go. Like if you're loving a thing, just like lean into it and love it. Yeah, the fun multimedia. So normally during the month of April, I do a live session, the Happy at Home sessions, every day, every weekday through that month. I will have a glitch in that this year. I will do a couple of them, but I won't be able to do every day because I have a travel bug and we're going to do some more travel. So things are, I got a really good deal on a cruise. So we're taking another cruise, and we have travel points for flights. So between the two of that, it was too good to say no to. And my mother-in-law and her best friend are going to come on this trip with us. And yeah, so that's helpful. So yeah, travel's always a good idea. Great idea. I know. I'm like this seems wrong, but it means that I've had lots of things to work on because we got to prep our load to have our load ready for May. I will be back before May, and so everything will be good for that. And I won't be able to do all the happy at homes during April. I'll do a couple, but I won't get to do all of them. So it is it is what it is, and travel is amazing, and I can't pass up on this. Was a good deal. so so yeah, that's what's gonna happen. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So that's what's going on, and you got a peek of what's kind of coming up for our membership this next week. I'm going to play with this for the next few minutes. If anybody changes their mind and they have something they want to share, then let me know. Turn your mic on and be like, Alice, I want to share. But I'm going to play with this for a little bit till about the top of the hour, and then we will wrap up today. So let me put back on my desktop. Yeah, I've got some things to sort out. Oh, I definitely need to make sure I place this at roughly the same place as the other page. Pencil. There we go. Oh, Ross says that she heard that press and seal helps keep the pastes fresher longer. Ooh. That's I actually bought press and seals for doing just scrapbooking things. It's not the kind that I use in my kitchen, but because I don't use that much of it in the kitchen, but that's not the kind that we do use when we do use the plastic wrap. But I bought it just for scrapbooking, for doing different kinds of transfers, actually. So it's funny how some products end up in your stash, right? Who would have thought that I would buy press and seals just for scrapbooking? Okay, that's good. I'll take that away and I'll bring this here. Oh, Beth says she uses press and seal whenever she opens a bottle or a jar. So maybe I've been missing out on the best usage of it. Okay. Yeah. So Beth, I heard good feedback that the scrap school went. I realize I haven't put the replay up yet, so I'm assuming you probably sent me an email about that. I need to check. I'm sorry. But maybe you want a round two.
I had fun. I had fun doing that. It was so much fun, but had not I thought I knew the tech because I'd used that same tech on every day on my work, but never from YouTube. So
Yeah.
so there was a tech mess up, but then the rest of it was very fun.
Well, that tech stuff, Sarah said maybe like in the future she could just host that part because she's used to doing that part of it. But then having somebody to talk to for the rest of it, she said was awesome. And she said that you did a really good job. So I got very good feedback about that, for just so you know.
Thank you. And I'd be happy to do that part again. If Sarah did the tech, that'd be awesome.
Cool. Well, then I will send you a message after with maybe some potential dates for April, because yeah, it's funny because like I'm like I feel bad about leaving, but also leaving. So here's the deal. My husband and I, like he runs his own business and we've been in this business for over 30 years. And um at some point when you're like our business has always been on call 24 hours a day. Like forever. That's how it is. It's on call 24 hours a day. And it was always just us, right? Like it was just him and me. Like I handled all the phones and he went off and did all the calls. And any holidays that we've done in the past were like a huge sacrifice because not only are you spending the money on your holiday, but now you're not making money and you're potentially losing your customers. So not ideal. So we didn't do a lot of like we never did any kind of long holidays for starters, and any that we did were like short so that we could get back so that we could be back to work. And now that our boys are working with us and for us and are competent and stuff and can hold down all of that stuff, right? Like you gotta kind of let them be competent a little. um yeah, it kind of changes the game, right, for us, and it just feels like we have that opportunity to do some of the things that we wouldn't have even considered before. Like, yeah. So it's pretty cool. It's been really cool actually. And so I think a part of it is like a little bit making up for lost time. And I think everybody that has come through 2020 understands that, whether it's about holidaying or about everything else. Like it's like about, you know, taking advantage of the opportunities as they come. Okay, I think this looks really good. I think it's going to take a little bit of time to dry. This stuff is not a speedy drying thing, so I won't have a finished page to show you like all fun and assembled, but we had some pretty fun things going on with the layers, with the little bridge pieces. It's gonna be like a bridge over water now. And the watercolor fits in really nice with those little blue flowers off of here. Like it's literally like perfect. So yeah, I'm really liking how this has come together, and I think it looks pretty good. Sharon says, thank you, Alice. I got a lot done, printed off photos while watching. Bye for now and see you over in Calvin Ball. So yes, before we wrap up, let's talk about that for a second. So I did mention this Calvin Ball challenge, and I mentioned how I'm going to be claiming up some points on these pages, 2 pages actually now, so that's even better. Yeah, so we are doing a Calvin Ball challenge right now. This is something that we do every March, and it is not too late to join in the fun. If you're like, well, I didn't sign up on time, you don't have to. You can come and join us anytime through the month. And if you hear about this at a time where it is not March, you can still go get on the email list. I don't email you at all until like February. And then it's like, hey, Calvin Ball's coming up in March. So you don't have to worry about getting any kind of extra spammy messages or anything. Go to scraphappy.org/Calvin Ball and you'll get the info about that. What we do during Calvin Ball, it is a crazy, unexpected, random kind of fun thing. But it's a challenge just for honor and glory. It's all for fun. It's free for everyone to sign up for. So there's nothing holding you back from just checking it out and seeing what it's about. And basically, we release a list of rules of how the game works. And then every day we update the rule list with opportunities for claiming points. And you will see things like the color green and a star added to the list. And so if you use green on your page and you use a star on your page, then you get to take a point for the green and a point for a star. Now, if you use 5 stars, you still only get 1 point. Star counts as a point. It's like a checklist, okay? So think of it like a checklist. And it's a lot of fun to play the game and gather up points and see what everybody else is making because you can share them in the gallery. and you can have a lot of fun connecting with some other scrapbookers over this crazy and fun challenge. And it's time for we're in the middle of it right now, but as the month goes by, more point opportunities get added, so more rules get added. And you'll have to watch because there's two lists. There's a permanent point list. When something gets added to that one, it stays all month. So you might have something like a frame added. You might have something like a butterfly added to the list. It might be like a gold metallic that's added to the list. And so as you go, you'll be adding those on. But we also have a temporary point list, and something can be on the list today and it could be off the list tomorrow. You just never know. I think green is actually off the list right now, actually, come to think of it. But lots of fun. And it's just a chance to look through your scrapbooking stash and pull things out and really and do some playful and creative things with your scrapbooking stuff. And you can scrapbook or make cards or do other craft projects, little books. Kind of like everything counts with Calvin Ball. It's fun for one and fun for all. So come and join us, check it out, and yeah. So that is it for right now. If you're interested in anything about Scrap Happy and what we do, come check us out. It's at scraphappy.org, and you can join the membership. You can also get on our email list. There you go. This is the email list where you kind of once in a while will get invited to something. I don't send that many newsletters. That's not something that I do a lot of, so don't expect a ton of emails when you sign up, but you will get them about the important things that are happening. So that's all. If you saw products that I use that are the common things, like the tape runners that I use and my favorite mixed media products and stuff, you will see those things on this favorites place. I get asked about that from time to time. That's where to find them. I link things like that there. Other than that, I hope that you can come and check out what we do at Scrap Happy. Check out the free Calvin Ball challenge that we have going on right now. Information about the next load will be coming soon, and you will actually get an email to let you know when it's available and open for registration. Our members will have a reunion this summer. We're going off to Charlotte, North Carolina, so I have info coming out about that soon. Maggie says, I was excited to see the email about today. Yeah, so I do send them out rarely, but yeah, I want to make sure that you know what's happening. So awesome. Thanks so much for joining me today. It's always fun, and I look forward to these sessions so much. Thank you to the Scrap Room for sponsoring our giveaway. Congratulations to Michelle for winning, and I will see you all next time. Happy scrapping! So this ended up turning into a 2-page spread. The page you see right now is the right-hand page, and I'll show you the left hand in just a second. I was really pleased with how the Nouveau Glacier paste turned out. It really made it look like some kind of rushing water underneath the bridge effect that I had created. I used 2 different types of letters for the titles, a gold metallic and a sparkly blue one. And because we're doing the Calvin Ball challenge right now, I added a lot more embellishments than I normally would, and I love how it turned out. I love having a lot of embellishments on the page, but usually I struggle with that. But with Calvin Ball, I make them fit, so it's kind of a fun time. So this is the left-facing page, and you can see I've lined up a grid of 4 photos. I've got that bridge technique across the bottom of the page. I have lots of little embellishments in the clusters. And I've repeated a lot of the same icons that I use on the right-hand facing page and the left-hand page. You'll see the gold doilies, you're going to see the little rainbows and birdhouses, and the cute embellishments are there on both facing pages. Now back to that grid of 4 photos. It's actually not a grid of 4 photos at all. I'm attaching a flip-flap just over top of the center 2 photos of the grid. So once you've flipped it up, you're going to reveal 4 hidden photos, making a total of 8 photos on this one page. And for a final peek, here's the left side and the right side of this layout. Thank you so much for joining me for this. And don't forget that registration for load 524, Shaken Not Stirred,
which will run from May 1st to 31st, will open soon. You can check in at scraphappy.org/load.